In this video, you'll be able to clearly tell if you truly believe in yourself, if you truly believe in your dreams, if you truly believe in that which you seek. And whether you believe in it or not, that determines if you can have it. That determines if you can be that person, if you can become that person you envisioned yourself to be. Whether you believe in it or not, that determines if you can have it in this life. And you might think that you believe in something, or you might think that you even don't believe in something. You don't believe in something that you wish to be, in a specific someone that you wish to become, in a specific thing that you wish to have. You might think that you believe in it, you might think that you don't believe in it, and that belief is determining whether you could have it or be it or not. But turns out it's quite the opposite. And what's blocking you, for example, if you actually believe in it, and it could be something else that's blocking you from becoming it or from having it. And so the most important thing when it comes to me pondering over whether I believe in something or not, whether I believe in myself or not, the best indicator to me was always to visualize it, was always to envision it, to just imagine it, see myself in it, see myself having that thing, see myself believing in myself. And how does it look? How does it feel to me? What's my perspective towards it when I'm envisioning it, when I'm deep in imagination? And by the way, believing in yourself or believing in something is just a different way in saying whether you are aligned with something or not. Are you aligned with your higher state of being? Are you aligned with your highest good? Are you aligned with your dreams? Are you aligned with that which you seek? If you're synchronized fully, body, mind, and spirit, it means that you believe in yourself. You have a dedicated vision. You have a sheer perspective, a one-point focus. You have synchronized your whole being. And now it means that you believe in yourself. Whatever that is, whomever that is. But the best indicator was to just look at myself, imagine myself being that person, having that thing. And that's a very good indicator. That tells you everything you need to know about whether you're aligned with that thing, whether you're aligned with that version of yourself, whether you're aligned with that dream you have. For example, before I started doing these type of videos, although I had my friends and I would share such conversations and we would have profound, deep conversations, such meaningful conversations, and I knew my knowledge was appreciated, was acknowledged, was received well. Some of my friends even would consider me their life coach or their therapist, although that was not really the case, but we would be able to share such profound insights that it felt as such. And I knew I had the knowledge, I knew I know all of these things, and I knew I could share it. But when it came to me sharing it online, being a YouTuber, creating content for people out there, strangers, to watch and judge or acknowledge or this or that, and I'm coming from a place of perfectionism, so I was very hesitant and very indecisive. And I always kept thinking later, because I couldn't see myself well in it. When I was sitting down, when I would sit down and I would imagine it, it would feel so far-fetched. It would feel so perhaps unrealistic for me, for example, to be making a living out of doing this, out of sharing this. But the more, and I always kept saying, okay, that's later, when I feel more aligned with it, when I feel more prepared, when I feel more ready or whatever. And that later turned out, to be 2 years later, since I first started thinking about creating this content, this type of content, and sharing it with all of you lovely infinite beings. But then, once I started doing it, I gradually was able to believe in it more and more. I was able to see myself now clearly. Sure, this could be my life. Sure, I could do one-on-one coaching sessions, for example. gradually you start feeling it more and more. You start aligning with it more and more. And that's why they tell you practice makes perfect. And that's why I always tell you, that's why I'm always saying that all that matters in action is the feeling. All that matters with action, all that matters about taking action towards something is that you feeling it more and more. It's not the action itself that's making anything. And that's why if you could feel it without action, if you have other ways, there are other ways. I had other ways, but were I consistent in pursuing them? For example, you could have a regular practice of meditation, of deep states of meditation in which you see yourself in these things, in which you live those things. Studies show, Dr. Joe Dispenza carried out plenty of studies on the power of meditation and how much it could affect the real world. And they gathered a group of like above 100 individuals, I don't remember the exact number, and they made them, they taught them how, and then they made them for a week to practice working out in their deeper state of being, and when they were meditating and accessing the theta brainwaves, the delta brainwaves, while remaining awake. Deep states of meditation. And they made them visualize themselves practicing curls, the biceps, working out. A week later, they've gained, I don't know, it's crazy. Whatever it is, they gained like, I don't know if it's 14 or 40% of extra muscle mass after sitting 1 week in meditation. It's not the whole day, of course, not the whole 7 days of meditation, but like practicing meditation regularly over a period of 7 days. And that tells you that you can be it without taking the action. This is like the clearest thing that tells you so. And as such, once I started gradually doing this type of content, I was able to more and more envision myself. And the more I was able to see myself doing this thing, see myself living as that type of person, the channel would simultaneously grow. You know, that's how things work. The more you believe in something, the more it reacts to your belief, the more it reacts to your dedication to it, it's like you are creating it into being. You have this energy and now it's focused into creating this thing. Now you believe in it, and now your subconscious wants to find external proof for it. And in your subconscious attempt to find external proof for it, because if you feel something, if you're happy, if you're grateful, if you're blissful, if you're joyful, if you're peaceful every day, then your subconscious needs to find external proof for that. Why am I happy? Why am I grateful? Why am I peaceful? Why am I blissful? Why am I joyful? And as such, it's focusing your energy into creating. That's channeling your energy to your higher self. And this is your gateway. Your subconscious is the gateway between the physical, the 3D, and your higher state of being, your pure conscious state of energy. And now your energy is being focused on creating such things into existence. Similarly, otherwise it works the opposite. If you're always in fear, if you're always stressing, if you're always discontent, unfulfilled with life, if you're always in despite and hatred, your subconscious starts looking for so and so. But the more you believe in yourself, the more you're going, if you want to know, if you believe in that thing, if you believe in yourself in a specific image, think about it. Does it feel so far-fetched? Does it seem plausible? Does it seem doable? Do you feel go to your most deepest states? You're cynical, the cynical in you, the judgmental aspect of you, the critical person in you. Does it go like, oh, that's unrealistic, let me lower my standards, let me look for something else, let me not waste my time because anyway, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be that great. It's not gonna be that grandiose. If you're trying to find your perfect partner, if you're trying to build your perfect business, does your mind always, when you envision it, does your mind tell you, do you tell yourself, that's too much, I'm not gonna be able to grow it as such, perhaps let me lower my standards, let me do this or that? That means that you do not believe in it. You do not believe in yourself being that version of yourself. You have infinite versions of yourself, and you can access whichever one you like by just being it, by just feeling it, by just believing in it, by just believing in yourself, synchronizing wholly your mind, body, and spirit, your subconscious mind and spirit. That means that you have a very specific vision, that you see yourself as a specific person, and everything you think, you do, you feel is aligned with that. Corresponds that which you seek. As above, so below, the law of correspondence. Whatever you experience in this life, in this 3D physical reality, is whatever your higher self is experiencing. Wherever you find yourself in this reality is wherever your higher self resides. Wherever your soul resides, it reflects on this reality and becomes your life even here. Whether it's in lower dimensions, deep, dark dimensions, fearful, stressful, despiteful, bitter dimensions, or is it high frequency dimensions, high dimensions, and you're aiding in the collective ascension, in the collective consciousness. Now, the next thing that could really tell you if you believe in that which you seek, if you believe in yourself, is to think about something that has to do with that which you seek in your past. Are you aligned? Do you want to know if you're aligned with something in the future? If you're aligned with a specific version of yourself in the future, think about something that has blocked this once in your past. Think about even a mild trauma, something that required healing in your past to unlock your passage, your path towards that which you seek. If you felt worthless and you were conditioned on conditional love, you were raised in such a way in which if you did this, you were loved. If you said this, you were loved. Otherwise, you were not loved. You were shunned and you were hated. Think about that experience. If you're trying to manifest loving relationship, your perfect partner in the future, if you envision yourself in a perfect relationship in the future, non-toxic, non-conditional, unconditional, loving relationship, think about that experience in your past. Do you still feel aversion towards it? Do you still feel resistance towards it? Do you still feel as if you do not wish you had experienced it in that way? That tells you that you're not aligned with it, that you do not yet believe in it fully. Because if you believe in it fully and you're aligned with it vibrationally on a frequency level, energetically, then whenever you experience it in the past, whenever you look at it in the past, it all makes perfect sense. It all seems to be there for a reason. It all seems to be very negligible, because now you have moved on. You're not yet controlled by that energy. You're not yet affected by that energy. You have shifted your reality. And now you believe in yourself in an image that's completely opposite from that which hurt you. If you had a problem around abundance, if you had a problem around wealth, money, financial abundance in your past, and that really triggered you, traumatized you when you were growing up, you were always dealing with money problems, your parents were always dealing with money problems. Now, if you think about it, does it still feel hurtful? Does it still bother you? Does it still trigger you? Even in the moment, if someone mentions it, does it trigger you? If someone says something that has to do with that, does it trigger you? It bothers you? Then it means you're not really fully believing in it yet. You're not fully really aligned with it. You don't truly believe in yourself being that version of yourself yet. If you had problems with confidence, with being undeserving, unworthy, your brain made up coping mechanisms, set up coping mechanisms, coping definitions in place. Your ego had set those in order to survive. If you were hurt in a way that you could not explain to yourself, clarify, then your brain might have thought that you are unworthy. It starts setting the ego constructs, right? I have many videos about this. I mention it over and over in many different videos. Your mind starts thinking if you were hurt, if you were bullied, for example, or if something you experienced a situation which embarrassed you or humiliated you, and no one explained it for you better, no one clarified it for you better due to a dysfunctional childhood or upbringing or unavailable parents, your brain would start setting its own definitions in order to make sense, because the ego just cannot tolerate not understanding why something happened, not comprehending why it had to experience something that hurt it. And so it starts developing those definitions. I'm unworthy, I'm undeserving, I'm worthless. Now, whenever you think about that experience that made you set up such definitions, that made your ego set up such constructs, does it still bother you? Does it still hurt you? If it does not, it means that you now believe fully, truly believe in yourself, in that version of yourself in the future. And you're ready, and it's coming to you. And you're getting closer and closer to it. And so this is your best indicator. That tells you everything. And if not, then what do I need to heal? If not, then what is it that's blocking me? Those are the questions you ought to ask. Is there something specific? You have to really break it into bits and pieces. But more often than not, it is just that you do not believe in it. Because if you believe in it, because believing in it requires all of the other aspects. It requires you to heal your past towards it. It requires you to deeply explore what traumatized you. It requires you to do the shadow work. Then only you would be able to truly believe in something. That's all I wanted to share for today. Thank you so much for sharing this with me, all of you lovely infinite beings. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.